How we doing, gang?
Good, Rick. How you doing?
Good. Really proud of the practice today. Really proud of the effort. Had some guys, with the loss in bodies, we had to have guys play both practice fields and do some real, good against good looks, and just really liked the effort and the attitude. And obviously the challenge is large with a very good Oregon State team coming to play, but it's a good start to our week. So I'm pleased with where we are right now.
First-team receivers going against the first-team secondary. Talk about your thought process.
Well, we don't have any scout receivers. We're down to bare bones, and so we have to make sure that with their talent in the secondary and the speed of their talent in the receiver corps and the speed of their routes, you have to get guys that can run. So we just found time to go good against good in that regard. And I was, like I said, it was no one balked about it. No one wondered what we were doing. Everybody was gung-ho, whatever we can do to help the team. So that was terrific.
You were over there for about 10 minutes, too. Are you consciously paying more attention to the defense?
I have full confidence in our defensive coaches. I don't want it to appear that that's the case. I went over there to help the scout team and make sure that the three guys who haven't been scouts all year were integrated it properly, and so we got the looks that we needed. That was the only reason to be over there.
What's Sloan's status?
Hold on, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
What was the question?
Have you seen noticeable progress with Richard, and what do you see as he takes more and more reps the last couple of weeks?
I see, improvement, more confidence. As I said yesterday in the press conference, I know a number of you weren't there, but that you have to do things over and over and make sure that he sees all the looks against your particular play until you really feel comfortable that he knows it all. He can tell you that he does, and he can nod and tell you, "Oh, I got that," and all that stuff. But until you get confirmation or visual proof of such, you got to be. So it's a time. It takes time. It's not going to happen fast. But is he growing? Absolutely. Is his confidence surging? Yes. And maybe the most noticeable is his teammates' confidence in him.
What's Sloan's status?
Questionable. He's got a hamstring. We hope that he'll be available by game time. He won't practice much this week, and try to rest it. But he tells us he has a chance, but I think probably unlikely.
So that means Zumwalt starts.
Zumwalt, yeah. Zumwalt will have to be in there.
Nelson, percentage-wise, back?
Nelson will be back. Nelson practiced well today, and I think we'll be ready to go.
And Taylor in the leg?
Taylor's just precautionary. That punt that got knocked out of his hands, he got a bruise in his sternum, but so we just don't want him to take a hit, but he'll be ready to go.
When you talk about Brijo's progression, how important is it to have him almost forget or ignore those two great touchdown passes and focus on?
No, you don't want him to forget those. You'd like to recreate those. Yeah. Now you can't rest on those.
Okay.
You can't act like you're a finished product because you've thrown the ball over the top of people. It's a game that requires absolute attention to all the time, which is why the best in the business are the guys that work the hardest. The Bradys and the Mannings are guys that are tireless at the craft. So that's why they get paid the big bucks.
The rushing attack hasn't been quite the same the last few games.
Right. Well, we got to dimensionalize it again. We got to get all the things inside, outside, and give it a little bit of a tune-up, if you will. We can't just get hunkered down inside and make it a mosh pit. So we'll keep working at that.
From what you're seeing, is it an execution issue or is it a scheme issue? Maybe other teams scheming against that.
Well, they have coaches too that watch tape and they see where you're running the ball, so they find ways to get extra bodies there. But in so doing, you create big plays like the one where we tossed it over their head against Arizona. So you've got to find ways to dimensionalize yourself so that you force them to be a little bit careful before they load up too much.
I apologize. I was laughing. He was sticking a Joe Paterno mosh pit.
Did he?
No, I wondered.
I have a great Joe Paterno story. He and I were both on the Nike staff at a time, and went. He told me to get him a bourbon one time. I was his GA, so to speak. I was the new head coach in the deal. And he said, "I'm ruining college football because I had just taken my team skiing." and that he wanted to know what the hell the rest of us were supposed to do with their team, and he better call and ask before I get permission to do that. But we've been friends for a long time. So later in that same trip, I got him up there. I had a guitar in my hand. I got him up there, and he sang "Wild Thing," which was one of the great scenes of all time. He didn't know a lot of the words, but he was effervescent with his rendition of "Wild Thing."
Yeah, but his version of Wild Thing was be like for Carol Lombard.
Yeah, exactly. No, it was outstanding. It was outstanding. This is back in 1996.
So when he was younger.
1806.
What was he, 80 at that time? Yeah.
What do you have to do to get the balance you want? I mean, it seems like all year you haven't had that balance.
Well, we've got to. It really comes down to third downs. We've got to be better on third downs so that we can stay on the field and be able and hit passes in that deal where you all of a sudden stay on the now. You don't worry about throwing the ball on first down because you've got more confidence on third down. But we're not far away. I really believe we're going to find a formula here in this last month and be a good-looking football team. He practiced, and I talked to Sheldon, and he feels like he's going to be ready to go. So I'm excited about that.
Starting Zumwalt, what part of his game is he still a freshman?
All parts, because he is a freshman. But that doesn't mean he's not capable of doing the job and doing it well. I mean, there were some real good things. That sack he had in the end of the game to give us a chance, where they were close to field goal range, and to move him out of field goal range, give us a chance to come back and still win the game. That was an excellent play by him, and you could just see him grow during the course of the game. He spent a lot of time working towards playing a lot in that game early in the week, and it was kind of big for him. Now, having played, I think it's all kind of settling down. Doesn't mean he's a finished product by any stretch of the imagination, but certainly believe he's ready for the next step.
I would think the playing part of it would be easier than the running the defense part. Are you guys doing anything to help him out on that end?
Westgate can help him in that regard, yeah. Westgate can help him.
Will Westgate make the calls, or will he?
I haven't talked to Chuck about that, but we certainly have a safeguard in the event that he gets block. He all of a sudden forgets what he's supposed to be doing. We've got a guy who can help him there.
In the depth chart, you have Hester starting again.
Yeah, Aaron had a good game last week, playing against a very, very good receiver in Kreiner. Wasn't perfect, but certainly showed confidence. Got another PI, which was a tough call. But I saw growth, and got to keep coming. Got to keep coming, just like the rest of our ball club. Everybody good? All right, thanks.